All right, that's all. So we finished the discussion about delay, loss, and throughput in networks. Well, this is the current session. About the current session, is it okay? Well, if no, let me go to the next one. Next one, talking about protocol layers. And the protocol layer actually may provide you some service models. So how to have the layers and models. And so that we know how to provide service to the app. Well, protocol layers. Because of networks are complex, therefore we try to have the way to know the complicated network behavior. So how to do? We may have the pieces. Well, in fact, we have the consideration to have the pieces. So we have hosts, routers, links, apps. Of course, we have protocol, and we have hardware, software. All these, how to have the proper way to study. So first of all, we check the question. Is there any hope of organizing structure of a network? The answer is yes. We have the layers. Oh, it says this our discussion of networks. Well, how to have the further discussion so that it will be easier to understand the behavior of the network. Yes, we have the concept of layering. Layers, here we have the technique, so we call it layering. So layering, before we consider layering of networks, we consider the organization of air travel. Air travel, we have we have some different stage. First stage, you need to buy a ticket, purchase a ticket. And once you have a ticket, then you can check in. So check in, you need to put your baggage to the counter. And also, you have the baggage, so you need to, your baggage should be loaded. So you need to load the baggage. And actually, here we have tackle. So run away, tackle. And once tackle, we have the airplane. So airplane should follow the routing of airplane. And the airplane from, for example, from Taipei to New York. So New York, then you just follow the routing to New York. And once reach New York, so need to land and need to unload it. And so that you need to claim your baggage. And finally, about this flight, perhaps if everything is okay, so no complaint. But finally, perhaps your baggage lost or maybe delayed, so you need to complain. So you need to have the final stage regarding the flight. However, we use this one. You complain the current flight, so you just have the complaint about your ticket. Well, we have a series of steps, and all the series of steps actually, we allow the individual person to serve you, or maybe allow the individual team to serve you. So we have the organization of air travel. Well, all that we call layering. Alright, so that is now layering and the layering of L functionality. Well, something like this. If we further consider layering for departure airport, we have the current 5 layers. But sometimes from Taipei, you go to Bangkok first, right? If you go to Bangkok, something like airplane routing, stop there. So actually, perhaps you need to go there if you don't think you need to take off again. So if you don't like this one, So if you don't like the current layering, maybe you have a bit higher, you need to tack off again, right? Sometimes you go there, for example, Bangkok, you need to get up and then stay there. Perhaps you transfer, you need to go to the next one. But here, it doesn't mean we allow you to get out. So it says stop there, but no chance for you to get out. But we will continue so that we have an airplane routing. If you don't think so, we have for the transferring. So you need to have wrong way and landing again. So wrong way, landing again. So possibly you have this, but at least no gas, the layer of a gas, because not the destination. So we don't have that. And finally, we reach the destination. For example, go to New York, and then you can have the full layers. All right, so we have layering to that you have layer, and each layer implement a service. I think you can understand each layer implement a service. So they have their way to know the layering. And of course, we have a layer, so internal layer actions. We need to have the interoperations. Well, here we have a layer, and actually higher layer rely on the service of lower layers. Why? If you want to have the flight, of course you need to buy the packet. So the other service actually provide to you. So package, yes, the service provide to you. And because of your package, we need to have load the packet to the gate, and also tackle, and also go airplane routing. So all the service provided by a layer below actually received by the upper layer. About the current layering, I think you can understand. If you can understand, we just want to follow the layering of airplane functionality, and so that we can have the layering for networks. Why we need to employ layering? In fact, dealing with a complex system, and so that we have the current layer, and the layer so that we have the reference model. Once we have the reference model, we can define all on service for the reference model. And because of layer, so we can have the module. So modularization is maintenance and update of a system. Why is maintenance? Because if you want to change service for the layer, you can promptly change, and so that you can have the same model rather than you have the whole updating. So if we have a modularization, if we want to modify a simple model, then just model that layer rather than the whole layers. All right, so you can understand change of implementation of a layer service, then transparent to the rest of the system, because just modify that layer. For example, we are asked to consider change in gap procedure. All the service here do not affect the other service of the other layer. So it says transparent. Here, transparent we can call irrelevant to. So transparent to here is irrelevant to the rest of the system. Well, if we have layering, seems to be help us to solve the problem. But we have the further question. Layering considered harmful? If you consider layering, is it harmful? So does it have any disadvantage if we employ layering? Yeah, sometimes yes. For example, we have the service by layer 1 and service by layer 2. If we don't have the proper definition, sometimes some function actually cannot be provided by the 2 layers, what happens? No one can provide you the suitable service. Or maybe sometimes if we have the explicit layering, and then sometimes we cannot have the joint collaboration between 2 layers. So some possible disadvantage like these. So it doesn't mean layering always provide you the benefit without any harmful side effects. Sometimes we may have the harmful side effect, but even for the side effect, we still consider layering. Why? Because no choice. Okay, so because no choice, we want to use it for studying the complex systems. Of course, we want to use it. Yes, for the internet, we follow the following layering. We have 5 layers. Here, just 5 layers. App layer, transport layer, network layer, link layer, and physical layer. And for app layer, we have the purpose, supporting network apps. For example, what kind of app and what kind of protocols here. Here, this is a protocol. And protocols for sure. Even we have 5 layers, but we employ different protocols to implement the service. For example, FTP, SMTP, HTTP, these are the app layers. And we may have the other layers. For example, transport layer, so the process-to-process data transfer. And we have a TCP, UDP to implement the service. And the network layer, we can have IP protocol, and we have routing protocols. About link layer, data transfer between neighboring network elements. So we have Ethernet, IEEE 211, and here 11i. It doesn't mean III, no, 11i, and PPP. And the physical layer actually is the physical bits and simply. Well, that is for Internet Protocol stack, we have 5 layers only. However, later we may have OSI 7 OSI reference model. But here we have 7 layers. 7 layers, then we have these. For Internet, we merge app, presentation, and section. So that we have a single layer. But right now, we have actual layer, presentation layer, and section layer. Presentation allows apps to interpret meaning. All right, interpret meaning. So how about encryption? All right, how about encryption? Yes, if we consider encryption, something like interpret meaning of data, so encryption is one of the possible operations within presentation layer. And how about compression? Same. And how about other machine-specific conversions? Yeah, all of these belonging to the layer, presentation layer. And section layer actually consider synchronization, checking point, recovery of data exchange. All right, section actually something like microphone code. It's a section layer, so section layer as well. Well, for the internet stack, we have the missing the 2 layers. All right, because the 2 layers included in the app layer. Actually, if yes, empty presentation and section, and you can implement by yourself. So that says this service, if needed, must be implemented in app layer. And it also mentioned needed. Sure, sometimes we don't have the function like this, so you can skip it. But normally we should have this. So normally we'll have the 2 layers. two extra layers, actually, sometimes we may use it, but sometimes no. So it doesn't mean we always need to have the two layers. Maybe because of this, so that's why simply you have a single app layer, rather than you have 3 layers like the OSI reference model. But yes, OSI 7 reference model, we have 3 layers because we have the 2 extra layers, orientation and section layers. Well, before we dismiss the class, let us look at this. From the first layer app, the messaging. And this is talking about the packet size, a bit larger for the second one we call segment. And next one, actually we should call packet. At this moment for internet, we can call this is the datagram. So datagram, actually sometimes we can call packet, but here we can call the datagram. At this we have the extra header, network layer header. And likewise, extra header. This is a header. All right. I think all of you understand header. So I skip the detail of a header. So frame. I saw that physical one, so no specific mention about the header of a physical layer. And you see, if I want to get it, we need to extract the message. Once we need to go again, then we need to edit. And finally, here we need to extract the message. How to extract the message? You just drop the header, then you can extract the message. Of course, for the message, think about this. We have the link layer header. So drop this, therefore you have the message. Likewise, drop this, you can have the message. Likewise, drop the header so that you can have the final message. All right, so this one we have the encapsulation and also decapsulation, so that you can encapsulate to have the final bits to be transmitted. And you can extract the message so that you can have the original message. So if we have all the layers, and actually for all the layers we need to have the suitable encapsulation, decapsulation, and so that you can implement layering using this way by using the extra headers properly. Okay, that's it. So